You've been told all your life that walking is the ultimate medicine, that if you just walk every day, 10,000 steps, 30 minutes, a morning stroll before breakfast, your heart will stay strong, your blood pressure will stay normal, and your legs will never fail you. But what if I told you that's not the whole truth anymore? I've been a surgeon for more than 15 years. I've treated hundreds of men and women in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, people who walked faithfully every single morning. And yet I've seen those same people come into my clinic with collapsing posture, unstable balance, weak thighs, shortness of breath, and constant back pain. They did everything right, but something wasn't working. And the reason is simple. After 60, walking alone stops being enough. Let's talk about why. When we're young, walking is a perfect full-body exercise. It fires the calves, the thighs, the glutes, the core, all in rhythm. Every step is a small symphony of muscle contraction, heart expansion, and brain coordination. But around 60, our physiology begins to change in subtle ways. The very systems that once made walking powerful begin to fade quietly in the background. Let's start with the muscles. After age 50, we lose about 1% of muscle mass every single year. That's called sarcopenia. By the time you're 70, you could have lost 30 to 40% of your muscle strength without even realizing it. That's why simple things, standing from a chair, carrying groceries, or climbing stairs, suddenly feel harder. The irony is that walking doesn't slow this process much, because walking only recruits low-tension endurance muscle fibers. Those fibers are great for distance, not for stability. The deep, powerful fibers responsible for balance and quick reactions, the ones that keep you upright when you stumble, are almost never challenged by gentle walking. A 2023 study published in the Journals of Gerontology found that adults over 60 who walked 5,000 steps daily but did no other strength or balance training showed no improvement in fall risk after 12 months. Their heart health improved slightly, yes, but their reflexes and balance reaction time remained the same. So walking keeps the heart moving, but it doesn't train the reflexes that protect your body from falls. And falls, not heart attacks, are now the leading cause of injury-related death among adults over 65. That's the part nobody talks about. Then there's nerve speed, something most people never think about. After 60, nerve conduction slows down. Signals that once reached your muscles instantly now take longer to travel, especially to the lower legs and feet. That's why many seniors feel like their feet don't listen as quickly anymore. Walking doesn't fix that, because walking is automatic. Your brain doesn't have to think to do it. The nervous system goes into autopilot. So instead of keeping your brain and muscles connected, it actually allows that connection to weaken over time. Now let's talk about joints. If you've been told walking is low impact, that's only partially true. Yes, it's easier on your joints than running, but repetitive, identical steps, especially on hard pavement, can actually compress cartilage and create micro tears in the ligaments of the knees and hips. This is especially common when walking form isn't perfect or when shoes don't provide proper arch support. Over the years, that repetitive stress adds up. The result? You're active, but your joints are inflamed, your stride shortens, and walking feels more like a chore than therapy. And then we have bone health. Walking used to be considered weight-bearing enough to maintain bone density, but after menopause, andropause 2 for men, hormonal decline changes that equation. Bones respond to impact, not movement alone. The gentle shock of stepping isn't enough to stimulate new bone growth after 60. That's why older adults who walk daily still develop osteopenia and osteoporosis. The Harvard School of Pack Health published a study in 2022 that compared daily walkers with seniors who performed light resistance training twice a week. The resistance group had 45% better bone density scores and fewer spinal fractures, even though they exercised less total time. So what's happening is this. Walking is wonderful for the heart, but it underdelivers everywhere else. Now, let's touch on the cardiovascular paradox. Most people assume walking strengthens the heart indefinitely. But past 60, the heart's response to steady, low-intensity exercise begins to flatten. It's called aerobic adaptation fatigue. In younger adults, walking raises heart rate enough to challenge the cardiovascular system. But as you age, your body becomes too efficient at that motion, meaning you no longer reach a zone where the heart truly gets stronger. It's like lifting the same light weight every day for years. Eventually, it stops building muscle. That's why so many of my older patients come in saying, "Doctor, I walk an hour every day, but I still feel winded on stairs." Their endurance exercise isn't really endurance anymore, it's maintenance. And there's one more silent factor: your balance sensors. Inside your inner ear are microscopic hairs called cilia that detect motion and help your brain know where your body is in space. With age, those cilia flatten and lose sensitivity. When you walk, your head doesn't move much, so the sensors don't get retrained. That's why walking on uneven ground or turning quickly can suddenly make a senior dizzy, even if they've been walking daily for years. So here's the truth. Walking is not bad, but it's incomplete. It keeps you moving, but it doesn't keep you improving. And that's where the Stability Step Protocol comes in. The one exercise that combines circulation, coordination, balance, strength, and joint protection into a single daily habit. It's the upgrade to walking that your 60-year-old body deserves. I developed this movement for my older patients who were afraid of gyms but desperate to feel strong again. It's safe for almost everyone, requires no equipment, and takes less than 15 minutes. And as always, this video is educational only. If you have heart disease, balance disorders, or joint replacements, please consult your physician first. Now, let's dive deep into the science and the simplicity. The Stability Step Protocol retrains 4 critical systems: the muscles, the nerves, the joints, and the brain. Each element plays a role in keeping you upright, independent, and alive. The first phase focuses on circulation and the calf pump. Most people don't realize that your calves are called the second heart. They push blood upward against gravity with every contraction. When they weaken, blood pools in the legs, causing swelling, fatigue, and lightheadedness. To reactivate this pump, start with what I call the heel-to-toe roll. Stand behind a chair. Rise up slowly onto your toes. Hold for 2 seconds. Then roll backward onto your heels, lifting your toes. Repeat slowly 10 times. This activates your soleus and gastrocnemius, the deep and surface calf muscles responsible for pushing venous blood back to the heart. A 2023 study from the European Journal of Applied Physiology showed that adults aged 70 and above improved their venous return by 17% and reduced leg swelling by half after just 4 weeks of daily heel-to-toe training. But beyond circulation, this simple move reawakens your proprioception, your sense of where your body is in space. Now we move to power generation. This is where walking truly fails. When you're walking, you never train the movement of rising, only moving forward. Yet in real life, the motion that determines your independence is the ability to stand up. That's where the controlled sit-to-stand comes in. You sit in a sturdy chair, feet flat, arms crossed, and rise slowly using your thighs and glutes. Then you lower yourself gently back down. The slower, the better. Because the slower you move, the more muscle fibers you recruit. The Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research published a 2022 paper showing that seniors who practiced 10 slow sit-to-stands daily for 8 weeks increased lower body strength by 35%, double the improvement seen in those who walked 30 minutes a day. I've seen this transformation firsthand. A patient named Victor, age 73, came to me after falling twice in 1 year. He walked 5 miles every morning but couldn't stand from a low couch without pushing off his knees. We started this routine: 10 heel-to-toes, 10 slow sit-to-stands, 5 stability shifts per side. In 6 weeks, he stopped needing hand support. In 3 months, his posture improved and his back pain disappeared. By month 4, his balance score, a measure of how long you can stand on one leg, had doubled. He told me, "Doctor, I feel taller again." That's not a miracle. That's neuromuscular retraining. Now, the third component of this protocol is the stability shift. It's a small movement with enormous neurological impact. Standing tall, you shift your weight slowly to one foot, then the other. It seems simple, but every shift forces your brain, ears, and ankles to communicate in real time. That's something walking no longer demands, because walking is predictable. A 2021 Harvard Health report found that balance retraining drills reduced fall risk by 43% in seniors within 12 weeks. They also showed measurable cognitive improvement because balance is a brain exercise too. Your cerebellum, the part of the brain responsible for coordination, thrives on challenge. Each small correction you make during a stability shift strengthens those neural pathways. This is why my patients often tell me, my mind feels sharper after doing this. It's not imagination, it's physiology. And now comes the secret that makes this better than walking. When you perform all three movements in sequence, heel-to-toe roll, controlled sit-to-stand, and stability shift, your body enters what physiologists call multimodal activation. That means the heart, muscles, nerves, and balance centers are all firing together. That's something walking simply cannot achieve. It's like comparing reading one sentence to reading a novel. Walking stimulates one system. The stability step protocol stimulates 4. But let's go even deeper, because I promised you surgeon-level insight, not generic health advice. What actually changes inside your body when you do this? In the first 10 days, your capillary perfusion improves, meaning your smallest blood vessels start opening again, delivering oxygen deeper into tissues. By the third week, your muscle mitochondria, the little energy factories, begin multiplying, so you fatigue less easily. By the 6th week, your proprioceptive neurons, the ones that detect movement and pressure, start remyelinating, repairing their protective coating. That's when most seniors tell me, I feel lighter on my feet. By the 12th week, your baroreceptors, sensors in your arteries that control blood pressure, become more responsive, reducing dizziness when standing up. And by month 4, we can often measure improvements in arterial flexibility using ultrasound. The same benefit most people assume comes only from cardio. This isn't speculation. These effects have been documented across multiple journals: the American Journal of Physiology, Aging Clinical and Experimental Research, and Frontiers in Neurology. Now let's address a question I get every day. Doctor, how long do I need to do this? Here's the answer. You'll start feeling differences within 2 weeks, but the true benefits compound with time. Think of it like compound interest on your health. The longer you invest, the stronger your returns. Another question, what if I can't stand? Then you begin seated. You can perform ankle pumps, mini marches in a chair, or side-to-side trunk shifts. Even seated versions stimulate the same nerves and muscle groups at lower intensity. The goal is consistency, not perfection. Consistency is what your body understands as a command. If you repeat a pattern often enough, your nervous system rewires itself around it. That's how balance returns. That's how strength comes back after years of decline. I'll share one more case. Margaret was 81, a retired librarian who loved walking her garden paths every morning. After a mild stroke, her balance vanished. She couldn't step off a curb without fear. We began the stability step sitting down. Heel-to-toe rolls, stability shifts with support, micro sit-to-stands with a walker. 6 months later, she sent me a video of herself pruning roses, unassisted, smiling. She said, "It feels like my body trusts me again." That's what this protocol does. It restores trust between you and your body. Now let's connect this to your heart health, because that's another area where this routine outperforms walking. During slow, controlled muscle contractions, your veins compress rhythmically, pushing blood upward. Your heart pumps less frantically but more efficiently. That's called venous return enhancement. Studies from the Mayo Clinic in 2023 showed that seniors performing controlled lower limb strength drills 3 times a week improved ejection fraction. That's how well your heart pumps, by 9% in 12 weeks. That may sound small, but it's the difference between fatigue and vitality. There's also the mental side. When you balance, when you breathe through controlled effort, your vagus nerve activates. That lowers stress hormones, steadies your heart rhythm, and promotes calm focus. Many of my patients report sleeping better just by adding this protocol before bedtime. A sleep medicine review confirmed it. Light balance exercise before sleep improves deep sleep duration and lowers nighttime blood pressure. And then there's posture. This might be the most visible transformation of all. As we age, the head begins to drift forward, a condition called kyphotic shift. That shortens breathing muscles, compresses the diaphragm, and reduces oxygen intake. Each element of this protocol corrects that. The sit-to-stand strengthens the spinal extensors. The heel-to-toe roll lifts your chest. The balance shift realigns your center of gravity. After 3 months, I've seen patients grow an inch taller, not because they got younger, but because their spines finally stood straight again. Now, let's talk about how you integrate this into your life. You don't need to carve out gym time. Do 1 set in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 before bed. Use the kitchen counter, a dining chair, or even your bed frame for support. The secret is repetition and mindfulness. Feel every shift. Don't rush. If you can walk, you can do this. If you can't walk far, this will help you walk again. After 60, it's not about running marathons. It's about reclaiming control of your own body. I've said this to every patient I've ever treated. Motion is medicine, but the right motion is the cure. The Stability Step Protocol is your prescription. Now, before we close, I want to leave you with one last thought. Aging is not the enemy. Inactivity is. Your body isn't giving up on you. It's just waiting for new instructions. Every time you rise from a chair, balance for a few seconds, or breathe through effort, you're writing a new command into your nervous system. Stay alive, stay alert, stay strong. So, the next time someone tells you walking is all you need, remember, walking maintains, but this retrains. And retraining is what keeps you young. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone you love. Maybe your spouse, your parent, your walking group. Start this protocol together. You'll be amazed at how quickly small steps create massive change. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching from? Have you noticed your balance changing over the years? Have you tried exercises like these before? Tell me your experience below. My team and I read every single comment because your story could help another senior take the first step toward recovery. Thank you for being here and for believing in your body again. Stay safe, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.